Hey guys, welcome to this training. So on this one, we're going to be talking about how my client got 267 paid trials in 6 weeks for his martial arts school. Now, before I start this training, this kind of mini workshop, if you want to call it that as well, I wanted to actually just go through like different stages and also explain to you why this works and why in some areas it doesn't as well. Now, before I get into all this, it's very important first to make sure that it is real. So as you can see, this is actual screenshot of the client saying, you know, the final figures actually got these paid trials and they were using the TAP system itself. So I'm sure you can like go through my profile and you'll be able to find the client itself if you really want to. But I wanted to actually just show first that it is real. Now, before I get into this, one of the things that I wanted to get into was, so this is a question I get asked a lot. Should I be doing paid trials or free trials? So in honesty, it just depends on your area, because I've worked with close to over 100 martial arts school owners, you know, a lot in the UK, quite a few in the US and Canada, and also some in Dubai. So the thing with this is that what I found is that some areas paid offers just work perfectly, but in some areas they just don't work, you know. But the thing is that when you know like it's something worth trying. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm not saying that it won't work in your area, but it's something that you should definitely try. I do think paid offers are much better. It's just because if someone pays anything, they're always going to be a better client rather than a freebie seeker. But it doesn't mean that free trials don't work, because there's loads of people that I've worked with and we just run free trials and it works really, really well. Now, the main difference that you find with it is, look, is that paid is definitely better, works out better on your conversions. And also what I mean by it's all maths is that generally what you need to be working out is really how many you've got from, you know, so if you're doing free offers, you just need to see your conversions really, what I mean by this. So is if you get 100 people coming for, you know, your free trials, then how many of them actually convert into members? And then also what you need to also remember when you're doing paid trials, you know, it is going to be a lower conversion rate in the sense that it's going to be less people coming through. So you, say, for example, we use the same campaign and, you know, you get 100 leads on the free, you're more likely to get like 50 on the paid. It's quite a big drop off, but it just means that once people that come through the paid, it's going to be much more better quality generally. So definitely worth testing. So it's one of the big things that I always say to everyone is that, look, I can't say that this will be 100% in your area, because some areas paid just doesn't work at all. Now, the other thing also I wanted to make sure as well, this was something that someone commented on one of my posts. So 267 paid trials, this is not all in one location. So basically this is, and they've got multi-locations, so some areas it just didn't work that well, some areas it did work really, really well. Now, one of the things also that I want to go into is that, apart from it saying that it's trying to connect to the internet, but anyway, let's ignore that for now. Now, why the TAP system works, you know, what is this and what does it work? I'm going to quickly go into this a little bit for you, because it'll kind of give you some ideas a little bit as to how my client actually got this working as well. Now, building your offer is a very, very important step. I believe after you have like a system that is actually working for you, to be honest, sometimes it's actually more important. What I mean by this is that if you have like a, basically if you have a offer, you just need to make it better than what anyone else is doing in your area. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean that you actually think outside the box. What other things can you actually be including in your offer that generally people don't? Now, once you start doing this, this is where you will start becoming your, you'll just stand out basically in your area. It's just that you're going to be much more, your offers will just not look like the same of everyone else. And then, you know, it's just going to be much more magnetic, and yeah, there's many levels to it. So one of the big first things that you should definitely be doing is thinking about your offer, because that makes and breaks campaigns. Now, having a way to get details of people up front is very, very important. So this is either you're taking people to like a checkout page, or you're taking people to even like filling their details on a landing page or anything like this. Because the thing is, when you're probably using the older method, which is literally where people have to comment on a post and then you're taking them into Messenger. You know, that still works, don't get me wrong, but it's a very slow method. Is that because people just kind of lose interest very quickly. They'll just kind of like ghost you, which happens a lot, unfortunately. And then sometimes it's just that you're just trying to get their details. Now, when you have something, a system where it's actually, firstly, the offer is really, really good, so people will want to jump onto it. Secondly, you need to have a system that will get their details up front, so that you're not wasting your time, literally, in chasing people. So it's very, very important that you should be doing this. Another thing that you should also pay massive attention to is how quickly are you following up with your leads. This alone will make a massive difference in your score, because in lead generation it is all about speed. If you can get in touch with someone within the first 15 minutes, you're going to get them in, because the thing is that when people see your ads, they're emotionally high and loads of stuff happen, and they're actually there and then going, yes, I want it. Then when someone rings them up and then books them in, then it's very unlikely that they're not going to turn up. You know, so your show up rate decreases as well. So really, really important. Make sure that you're doing this stuff. Now, what is the TAP system itself? You know, you're probably asking this. Okay, you might have seen stuff around, but it's a marketing and sales system. Now, it brings a lot of automation to your world, which, in my opinion, saves a lot of time. Not my opinion, or my clients' opinions as well. Is that I believe time is the most precious thing in the world, because, you know, in the day, I know this sounds a bit down, but we're not here for a long time, you know, so time is something that we should be holding on to as much as possible and using it as best as possible, rather than spending hours in Messenger or chasing people who are not interested. You know, it's a very, very important step that you bring automation into your business. Because once you start doing this, this is where you will get time. You can start doing things that are more important on your business, so that you can grow quickly, if that's what one of your goals is. Now, one of the other things a TAP system is that I call it an educational marketing system. So basically, the way people are coming through in this, they're getting educated first. Very important, because when someone gets educated, they're generally a better client, because they know a bit more, and they will understand really what your system is, what your methodology is. Because one thing that I've noticed is that whenever after working with so many schools, is that yes, most are doing martial arts, obviously different forms and whatnot, but you all have your own style of teaching, even though it's your own method of doing things, because you are going to be totally different to, say, if you did Taekwondo, you'd be different to another Taekwondo school, because you both have been trained differently. You have different teaching methods, all this kind of stuff. So it's very important that you educate people up front to tell them why you're different than everyone else. So this is what the TAP system helps you do, and it's a very, very important step, because this is where competition becomes irrelevant for you. So very, very important, this one. Now, one of the big things that everyone keeps saying to me is, if only I could just get people to show up. You know, my close rate is 80-90%. Now, one thing you need to also remember is that when people are coming through Facebook itself, is that they're a different kind of traffic source. They are a different kind of people, in the sense of that they've been scrolling through they've got their phone, they're scrolling 100 miles an hour, and they see your ad, and then they come through. Now, this kind of person is very different to someone that literally goes on Google, types in martial arts in, I'm in Peterborough, so martial arts in Peterborough. That is different, because this is where people, the person that's searching for it has already done all the research. They already know that this is something that they want, and this is something that is really important for them. So that's very, very important for you to know. Now, main reason why people do not show up is because they do not know you. So one thing is that I had a call with someone yesterday, and one of their biggest pain points was that I just can't get these people to show up. Now, the reason for this is that, okay, you might have got a lead come through. It doesn't mean that they've actually said, yeah, 100%, I'm coming in, I'm going to be there. Now, when someone comes through, as I explained, when they're going through the Facebook newsfeed and they don't know you, is that literally they've just tapped something, whichever fill-in details, whichever way they've come into your world, they still don't have any idea who you are. Now, when you have like multi-touch, which is what the TAP system is, and they're getting emails, texts, ads, retargeting ads, all this kind of stuff, this is where they start to understand who you are. And this is a very, very important step, because this is where people will start to come and show up more. Because one of the big things that they've even done research, and after speaking to all my clients as well, from their research I found this as well, is that the biggest stumbling block for most new people, like someone brand new that's never heard of you, is that they have a fear element of that, not knowing what that place looks like, not knowing what the instructor is like. They don't know if they're a parent, they don't know if their child's going to like it, if it's a nice clean area, all this kind of stuff. There's so many questions going in someone's head. Now when you have all these multi-touch points happening and people start seeing your videos, all this kind of stuff happening, this is where someone will start going and they get excited to actually show up. And this is why you'll see that your show up rate goes higher as well. Now, social proof. What is social proof? Social proof is basically when showing people that it actually works. You know, if you're really big on confidence for children, then show them results of other children having had that, you know, great experience, and you know what kind of results have they had. So that's social proof. Is showing results, really very, very important. For example, like on this page, you're probably going to likely see a lot of my social proof, just because I've worked with so many schools, had really great success. It's a very big important step that people need to see for them to actually take the next step. So very, very important. Now, one of the reasons, going back to this this main headline, really, you know, how my client actually ended up getting this kind of result, is that he never stopped marketing through lockdown. One of the biggest things that I even told him was, look, everyone else is going to stop marketing. Have some ads going out. Make sure people know that you're still there. And then that's exactly what happened. As soon as he launched his ads, it just made an avalanche of new leads, but also paid trials. Also, you know, this is where this is where people got warmed up already. They knew what the place looks like. They already knew that they just needed to see a great offer, and the offer on this one was very, very good. You know, they got a lot really for it. Obviously, I can't show you exactly what that is, but I just want to let you know with this is that when you're considering offers, it is the most important thing. You know, I would actually say to someone is like, spend most of your time just thinking about a new offer, then have an educational element to it, and it'll just work ridiculously well. So a really, really important step. Now, one of the things that I also wanted to quickly show you here is, oh, actually, before I've not finished on a few points. So marketing is something that people look at as an expense. It's not, it's an investment. You know, one of the things through lockdown, like majority of people were thinking, okay, now I don't want to lose money on ads. You know, it's just pointless putting anything out on Boost or anything out there because I can't open. Now, with this client particularly, we didn't do that. I was like, look, we need to keep something out there because this is something that's going to bring you massive return later on, and which is exactly what's happening. He's still getting loads of leads right now. Now, thinking of marketing that as an investment, now this is another way to look at it. So actually, I will draw this out for you because it will make more sense. Let's do this. So here is an example of a way. So imagine this, like when we were doing ads. So let's say there's ads, and we were like, what we were doing is we were building an audience of people, and loads of people start seeing this ad, well, which was like a video ad, and loads of people started seeing this. What we was doing is we're actually building this audience. This is the audience that my client actually went and dropped his ad to. Now, one of the things that also happens is that in this new ad that he's just done, that's where, because all these people engaged with this ad and with this original ad here, they all engaged with this original ad, they got put into the retargeting, and obviously Facebook knew that these people have engaged. So when my client actually launched this second ad, these people saw it. All these people in this little audience who are already warmed up and everything, they already knew that this place looks awesome. The person who's talking about all this kind of stuff sounds great, looks like he knows stuff. You know, this is why it worked so well. Really, really important. So when you've got ads, what you're doing is this section here, this audience that you're building here, it's a very, very big, this is where it becomes an investment. So say for example you spend say £100 on ads here. Now this £100, okay, you're not going to see an immediate return, but you know these people who are getting put into this audience, which is like it's called custom audiences and stuff, you know these people actually have heard of you, they're much ahead in the buyer's journey, there's loads of things that happen here. So this is why it's a very, very important and very valuable asset when you build this middle section out. Obviously, as you start building more ads and start doing more things, this audience will start getting much bigger. But this is where it just becomes a very, very good way of like utilizing basically your ad spend. So this is what I mean by marketing is an investment. It's not actually an expense. So when you actually start doing this, you're actually educating, because people don't buy straight away. You know, some people need a lot of touch points before they actually go and invest in something, or especially if it's for the kids, they will need to know that the person that is teaching their kids or whatever, or whichever, or even with adults it worked really well, is that they need to know that it's the right place for them to actually make that effort of going from home to there and training and all this kind of stuff. And also people buy at different times. You know, there's loads of people that I know even in my audience that have seen me for ages. Maybe you have. You've seen me for a long time. You know that I know my stuff, but timing is just not right for you. You know, I know this already just because, like, in the day, I'm not going anywhere. It's what I specialize in, is in lead generation, this kind of stuff. I love it. I'm not going to change this route really. But I just know that, you know, eventually someone will come to my way, because, you know, I've got enough results to prove that I know what I'm talking about. And also, another big thing is, this is exactly what happens with your customers, is that they will actually look at you, because I'm pretty sure you agree that people invest or buy from people that they like, pretty much, you know. So, you know, there's some people that might just not like the way I speak, or like the way I am, which is fair enough, you know. This is how the world is. We can't be liked by everyone. And this also happens with you in terms of attracting the right parents, attracting the right adults. You know, people will gravitate towards how you are, basically. So very, very important thing, which I wanted to also cover. Now, here's an overview. What is the TAP system itself? So I've got this actually on here, so see if I can find it. Yeah, so here is the TAP system. Now, one thing that I want you to know is, and see, is, let me move this actually, make this a bit easier for myself, is this. So we have all these traffic sources coming in. So we have the Facebook, we are using Instagram, that didn't look right. We have, so Facebook, Instagram, we have Messenger. We're utilizing quite a few of this, and obviously in like my higher inner circle stuff, we do look at YouTube and all this kind of stuff. But one of the big things that I can say is that when you have your offer page, this bit here, when you have this dialed in where you know you're getting leads, then you start building all this other stuff. So you got all these emails. These are all the touch points people have. Very important step here, which is actually following up with people straight away. And also another thing that a lot of people just generally don't do, or have actually heard of it but they just don't know what to do, is basically this section here, which is meant to be green, but anyway, is this retarget. When you have all these multiple videos, what are these doing? These are actually multiple touch points that people are having. I'm sure you've heard the phrase that people say, people buy when they, oh no, actually not people buy, is that in sales you need 7 to 11 touch points before someone buys. In online marketing it's like 30 to 40, it's a lot more. So when you have all these kind of elements to it, this is how it just becomes really, really helpful, and really, actually basically, when you have this system all working, it just becomes a very, very good system to have, in the sense where once, let me show you this. So this section here, once this all is working for you, you can like pretty much plug and play YouTube on here. You can plug and play TikTok if you wanted. I don't really do much on TikTok, so I couldn't really say. But Snapchat has ads now as well, which is very similar to the Facebook backend as well, which is why here. So once because these are all traffic sources. And what I always find is that people concentrate too much on the traffic side right at the start. What you need to be doing is concentrating on, let's do this. You need to be concentrating on this system here. Once you got this system working and you know that all the emails are working, people are coming through from the emails, you've got someone that's doing your follow-up maybe for you, you've got like the retargeting and people actually coming through and they're actually seeing your offer more, makes massive difference this. Now one thing that people also forget, just are not aware of, is that when you're running ads like this or running a system like this, it increases your website visitors massively. If you notice, whenever you start your ads or anything, have a look at analytics. If you have that in place, you will notice that your website inquiries will increase, your presence online will increase. It's there's loads of things that happen. Now, why is this? This is because when someone actually sees your ad, people go into research mode. They actually start seeing, basically, they start to go out and start researching and seeing who are these guys. You know, are they someone that I want to like find out more? They go and look at your website. They go and do this. But the first step that they always do is they actually go on your Facebook page. So if you don't have your Facebook page optimized and you know having the right stuff on there, if you're not putting regular content on there, there's loads of things that happen here. It's like, because this is where they'll look at it and go, well, if it's just all sales, which is one really big name that I saw the other day, that all on their page was just ads. That's not a really nice user experience from my opinion, because people will actually come and see your page. You want to show them why you're an expert, give them actually value, show them testimonials, all this kind of stuff. So hopefully you can see how having this kind of system makes a big difference. And then of course this middle section here, which is like the offer, this is where it's a very important step, where this is where you can start utilizing paid offers and free offers, but definitely make sure that you test out your paid offers in your area. But if it doesn't work, don't try pushing it, because it just means that your area is just not meant for paid. You know, people just prefer the free way, which is still a good way to get people in, because as soon as they come in, you can upsell them and stuff like that. So hopefully you found this useful. If you're interested to find out more about the TAP system and how me and my team can help you, you will see somewhere on this page, you will see a way to book a call with me. It might be a button below, just book a call and a day. You know, we can have a chat, see exactly where you are, you know, find out a bit more about your school, also to find out if it's the right fit for you, because sometimes it might not be as well. So thank you for watching all this. Hope you found this useful. Do let me know if it was useful. Any kind of feedback is great, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.